Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly, and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. Today I was thinking to myself, with Chainlink outperforming the market and showing such strength right now, how many Chainlink does it actually take to become a millionaire over the course of this next cycle? This is oftentimes something that's really talked about. Everybody wants to know how they can make $1 million inside of this market, and through cryptocurrency, I think that there's a lot of you that actually do believe that's possible. I know for myself, I've seen it around me, I've seen it personally with so many people. Some of these people were able to take thousands of dollars, and some of them even less than that, and they were able to make that $1 million milestone. Right now, with how early we are in the cycle, if you find the right cryptocurrencies that are about to explode during this bull run, this is where you have the opportunity to turn those few $1,000s into the potential of $1 million return. So today we're going to be diving through, I'm going to be talking about Chainlink, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some analysis and some comparisons to previous market cycles that I think are going to perfectly explain exactly where Chainlink is headed. Once you guys start to understand this, you guys are going to be able to start to figure out how many Chainlink it actually takes to make $1 million, and I will also go over my price targets, and I will tell you exactly how many Chainlink you need to hold in order to hit that $1 million milestone. If you're new and just finding this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Make sure that you guys click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new updates like the one provided for you here. Remember guys, I also have an amazing Discord community with over 6,500 members. We're getting very close to hitting 7,000, and I'd love to have you guys a part of here. I just went through and hired a whole new batch of moderators, and so you guys will be able to congregate in here, talk about some amazing things inside of the crypto community, as well as just engage with all of the other supporters of my channel. All you guys got to do to join is click in the description of this video, and there you're going to find the invitation link to my channel. Once you guys have access, I also offer some of my more exclusive content like the video course and signals through my Discord. The video course is an excellent resource full of all of my exact strategies. I've gone through and I've really studied a lot inside of these markets since I've been here for over 4 years now. I've gone through and I've paid for mentorship. I've also paid for courses, and I'm going to teach you guys all of my knowledge, and I'm going to put them inside of this 20-part video series. So if this is something that interests you, if you're somebody that wants to learn how to do this by themselves, or you would just like to have another resource of knowledge to base your trading plan around of, then all you guys got to do is click in the description of this video. There you're going to find the invitation link to the server. Now on top of that, I also offer the signals. Now the signals are a way for you guys to actually copy my portfolio. You'll know all of the positions that I'm currently holding for the long term, and you're also going to be able to copy any short-term margin trades that I take as well. You'll be able to get my long-term trading plan. You'll also be able to copy my short-term trades, and so this is a really good resource for you guys to actually copy and profit alongside with me. So if this is interesting to you guys, make sure you check out the Discord server. Click in the description of this video, and there you're going to find the invitation link. Once you guys have access, shoot me a message and I'll get back to you with all the information that you guys need moving forward. Now with all that being said guys, thank you all so much for the support. Now I know that the Link Marines are one of the biggest communities out there right around XRP and my community. I've noticed this throughout the cryptocurrency markets. There isn't very many diehard supporting fan bases out there, but the Link Marines are one of the most diehard as well as one of the most creative fans out there. They're always posting memes and they're always just doing amazing jobs out there with their analysis. So make sure that you guys smash up that like button, show some support of this video, get it out there to as many other Link Marines as we can, because this is going to be the videos that really starts to shed awareness on how much you could potentially make from a technical level. Alright guys, with all that being said, let's jump right in the video today. Alrighty guys, now here we are taking a look at Chainlink, and I've also got the chart of Amazon here because I think that both of these are going to be able to tell exactly what is happening. Now, I'll be honest, I bought some spot bids of Chainlink last night. I accumulated more for my long terms. Now, I wanted to hit a personal milestone, and I wanted to talk about kind of what your guys' personal milestones may be, because for me, I like to invest into my positions to where per trade, I have the potential of making $1 million in each trade, and potentially even more than that. I like to be able to have heavier position sizing in my bigger, higher cap altcoins, because those are going to be the ones that are going to be the most consistent. They're going to outperform the longest, and whichever ones of those rally the hardest, I'm going to be able to maximize my profit returns. And so I hit a milestone with investing into Chainlink. I hit my goal for how many I wanted to accumulate before the bull run really started. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about maybe how you can come up with your own trading plan and how many you guys might start to comprehend how many it actually takes to hit $1 million. Now, we're going to go through the technicals, and then I'm also going to be going over a multitude of different things. So this is going to be a video that you're definitely going to want to stay to the end of, because it's going to be packed full of exciting information here. Now, let's go through here and analyze some patterns. What I want to talk to you guys about is basically just the chart patterns and similarities between the two cycles. And this is going to help us to dictate kind of what to expect over the course of this next bull run, because in my opinion, Chainlink is going to be one of the best performing alts, because it already has been. In the wake of Bitcoin's corrections, it's always managed to perform the best, and on the impulses with Bitcoin, it's always still managed to return the best. And so let's go through here quickly and let's talk about the similarities. So this cycle down here at the bottom was the Amazon market cycle. This was the internet bubble from about 1997 till about the early 2000s, or about 1999, and then we ended up crashing after. And then after that, this was the entire trend that followed inside of Amazon. So this has been one of the best performing stock charts of all time, and I'm very confident in what we're seeing in Chainlink, because we're seeing almost the identical market structure. It doesn't have to be 100% the same, but it can oftentimes rhyme, which it is doing very greatly. Now, with what we see here, after the internet bubble, we had a pretty strong decline. We crashed, and then we went through this accumulation phase right here, right? And it's roughly the same in what we saw here inside of Chainlink not too long ago. This would have put us about December 1st. And then we made our first little short-term impulse. Now, this little short-term impulse wasn't very big, and it barely made a higher high, whereas on the actual chart of Amazon, you know, we impulsed and then we just started correcting. This one kind of made a rising wedge, but nonetheless, this is just the higher high that we were looking for. And then we end up coming back down, retest that support one more time, and then we actually break up and we retest the previous resistance. These are the previous all-time highs of the cycle, and that's where we come back up to retest those. And then we get rejected, both charts get rejected, and then we fall to one more corrective phase. Now, this is very interesting because this is, once again, almost the exact same market cycle structure that we're seeing today inside of Chainlink. And it's very important that we're seeing these, because the reason why we're seeing this is because markets and market cycles are 100% just human emotion. And so, you know, we can go back and we can look at previous stock charts, we can go back and look at other indices, and we can see that oftentimes they don't have to be exact, but they oftentimes rhyme. And that's what we're seeing in Chainlink, and that's what we're seeing in Tezos today. Or not Tezos, Amazon today. And, you know, guys, you can also make this comparison with a number of different altcoins, because it's just human emotion. Now, what I found is really interesting here is the fact that Amazon consolidated here inside of this, you know, bull flag type rising wedge type pattern, and then we ended up breaking out and breaking that all-time high in this move. And what's interesting to me is Chainlink is once again just on that exact same path as Amazon is. And it looks like we're at the exact same place. We're chilling right around that all-time high mark. You know, we just had this strong crash, this strong sell-off that took us all the way back down to these green boxes. And now we broke up from those lows, and we're now consolidating in this bull flag type pattern. And in my opinion, what we are going to see coming very soon from Chainlink is going to be this breakout. And we have a really good opportunity of making a lot of money in the process if we know what to look for. And so this is what I'm kind of expecting to see in Chainlink. To some variance, obviously it can differ to some degree. I'm expecting that out of this bull flag, we're going to break out. We're going to break out of the previous all-time high and really the resistance point of that previous move. And then at this point is where we get the retest, and then we break off and go into new all-time highs. And this is really what I'm going to be watching out for with Chainlink. I wouldn't have bought spot buy orders right here if I didn't expect a breakout. Obviously, if we start to sell below this, then that sucks. But once again, these are spot orders. I didn't go all in or anything. It's not like I risked too much. I'm okay that if we go down, I'll buy more. If we go up, you know, we're breaking up. But nonetheless, guys, I'm expecting a breakout here, because you can't argue against the similarities between the Amazon chart and the Chainlink chart. And because there are such similarities, it shows that there is a lot of emotion inside of this market, because what followed in Amazon, you know, guys, was this. Very, very big parabolic move. And, you know, we're still going parabolic to this day. And so this is what I mean here. We have a really good chance of making some pretty solid profits over the course of this cycle. And this is kind of what I'm expecting to happen inside of Chainlink today. Obviously, we can have a little bit of bigger corrections, But you guys got to remember that if we go and take a look at virtually any of the old living alts, let's go take a look at Ethereum, because Ethereum really rhymes a lot with Chainlink in this cycle, and I'll go through and actually explain why I believe so. Now, if you guys remember way back in the day, Ethereum was really the first one to make its impulse, and if we go take a look at Bitcoin, you guys are going to notice something here. Now with Bitcoin, after we had our bear market, we had this descending resistance, and then we finally broke out from that right here. Now, after we broke out, we made our first higher high on the new bull trend. And we can see that new bull trend formed right about here, right? So this is where the new bull trend formed, but we didn't get an alt season until about right here at this point inside of Bitcoin. After we broke out and then we started the first short-term correction, that's when the altcoins rallied. And this came right around the new year of 2015 heading into 2016. And we can see that Ethereum, if we go and look at that same point, 2015 to 2016, was right here. That was virtually the very bottom of accumulation. And then, Ethereum really started rising, and then it ended up peaking at about June of 27. And then it peaked at about June of 2016. Now, June of 2016 takes us to right here, the very peak of this move. So Ethereum finished its first impulse right here. The very top of this impulse took us to right about here. Let's remove some of these things here. So if we look at Ethereum, guys, the very peak of Ethereum's first impulse, right? So when Ethereum went from, less than $1 to $22, and then we started the real bull run, this was just the first impulse. This was the first higher high in that new bull trend. And what's interesting to me, if we take a look at Bitcoin, if we draw a resistance from the very top of the Bitcoin move, and we compare it to the top of the resistance for Ethereum, both of these came at the same day. It was June 17th of 2016. And we can see right here, June 17th of 2016, the exact same peak. And Ethereum led the market. It was Ethereum, it was XMR, it was some of those older coins. Those are the ones that led the market, but it was really Ethereum that was the best performing altcoin. Right now in the cycle, Chainlink is the best performing altcoin, which is why I see a lot of similarities here, and why I've actually accumulated a pretty decent amount of Chainlink over the last couple months. Now, what's interesting to me here is the fact that if we take a look at the halving, and we factor the Bitcoin halving inside of this, the Bitcoin halving came right here around this black line. The date isn't going to be 100% exact, but it happened right around this exact same point. I know the approximate market structure. Now, what's interesting to me is I've been drawing this pattern for you guys. I've been mentioning how once the halving rolls around, if you take the resistance of the impulse right before we had that halving, it takes us to just under this all-time high. And if we take a look at Bitcoin today, you guys are going to start to notice roughly the same sort of market structure. So this was the impulse. We draw the top of the resistance of that impulse, and then we go and we label the halving. So the Bitcoin halving just happened, right here. And so if we draw our lines over here, we're going to see that we're still just below the all-time high. We've pretty much had the same size impulse as what we did back down in here in Bitcoin. The only difference is this one took 2 legs to do it, whereas the one today in Bitcoin was just all done in one impulse. But nonetheless, we're all the same here. Now, what's interesting to me is both these Bitcoin cycles are actually very correlated. They look almost the same. Both of these kind of came at the same point. They both had impulses, and then once the halving rolled around, we were just below that all-time high mark. Even though Bitcoin maybe had a short-term correction in between, nonetheless, guys, we're still roughly at the same point as far as market structure goes. Now, this is the most important part of the video. If we take a look at Chainlink, we can see that Chainlink and Ethereum are on virtually the same sort of trajectory, and they actually look very similar to me. Both of them impulsed and outperformed Bitcoin on the way up, and both of them have only made one real higher high, because this was just the bear market accumulation and a consolidation in this range. But we didn't break out of the all-time high until just recently, right? We just barely went into price discovery. And so all of this is just consolidation and accumulation outside of price. Now, what happened in Ethereum was this, guys. This is what happened in Ethereum shortly after. The entire bulk of Ethereum's impulse happened right after that Bitcoin halving. So the Bitcoin halving, if we drew a line, happened about right in here. Somewhere right around there. So we got one more sell-off right after the halving. Now, if we take a look at Chainlink, the halving just recently took place. About right here. And so overall, guys, it is possible we could have a short-term correction, but I think that this halving is different in the way that the market structure is. Ethereum got one more sell-off. I don't think that it's likely that Chainlink is going to do the same thing. And in fact, I think markets look way more bullish right now than actually having a pre-halving dump. And so that's not really my scenario. But nonetheless, guys, Ethereum showed the most strength in the last cycle. It outperformed Bitcoin on its first couple impulses on the way up of this new trend. You know, around the same point, by the time the halving rolled around, we were about that 618 level. Yeah, right exactly at that 618. Look, 618's right here. Price at that halving was right there. It peaked at the 618. Guys, if we take a look at Bitcoin today, we're once again almost at the exact same cycle here. We peaked at that 618. The resistance at the halving was the 618. And so because we're seeing Chainlink and Ethereum at roughly the same exact price structure because of that, both of them just broke out of their all-time highs. The halving rolls around and both of them just made their first impulse. They're both almost on that exact same trajectory here. And now, what followed with Ethereum was 100x. And so now this is what takes me to the point of the video. How much can you make, how many Chainlink was it going to take you to make $1 million? Because this is where it gets important here. In my opinion, Chainlink is going to continue to outperform the rest of the market. We've already seen it thus far. I'm going to continue to ride to that trend, and I've invested a decent amount inside of Chainlink over the last couple months because of that natural bias. Now, I could be wrong. Listen to this and take it with a grain of salt. But nonetheless, if I'm right, I'm buying right now one of the best performing altcoins over the next cycle really cheap. Now, right now, there is 1 billion total Chainlink in that circulating supply. The circulating supply is about 350 million. Total supply is about 1 billion. So let's calculate and let's do these numbers with the total supply of 1 billion in the equation. So the way that you do this is you go circulating supply times price. So circulating supply, let's actually write it around here. So CS times price equals market cap. Right? So circulating supply times price equals the market cap. And so this is a way that we can kind of project how much market cap Chainlink has to have for it to actually go to these price targets. So let's say, you know, Chainlink's at $3.74. Let's say that Chainlink has a really good bull run and we go to $100 in this next cycle. Seems logical to me. I do not see a reason why we couldn't if we have a 2017-like bull market. You know, we could very easily see Chainlink at $100 per. Now, with that equation in mind, to hit $100, we have to know how much the market cap is. So we have to go 1 billion. So we have to go with 1 billion times the price. So 1 billion times 100. This comes out to 100 billion in market cap. So 1 billion circulating supply times $100 equals $100 billion total in market cap. And so for this to equal, so for Chainlink to go to $100, it has to hit $100 billion in market cap. In my opinion, we saw other cryptos get close to that. You know, Ethereum was a little bit over that in the last cycle, which, you know, I think that this is definitely likely. If Chainlink sets out and accomplishes all the things that it sets out to do, you know, there's no reason why this can't be a $100 billion market cap. And so I think that this is reasonable, $100 billion. Now, with that in mind, for a $100 Chainlink, you would need about 10,000 Chainlink to have $1 million. It would cost 10,000 Chainlink. And let's make sure I did the math right here. Yeah, so it would take 10,000 Chainlink in order for you to hit $1 million if the price went to, you know, 100. So for $100, for a $100 Chainlink, you have to have 10,000 of them. Now, let's change the variable a little bit. Let's say Chainlink has an exceptional bull run and, you know, we go to, let's say that we go to $1,000. We have an Ethereum-like bull run and we actually have a bigger bull run than Ethereum and we go to $1,000. Now, in that case, it would make things a lot easier. In that case, in order to make $1 million off of Chainlink, so in order to make 1 mil, you would have to have an initial investment of 100 Chainlink. To make $1 million, you'd have to have an initial investment of 1,000 Chainlink. And so the number just declines a little bit. So to put this into perspective, if prices go to $100, you will need 10,000 Chainlink in order to hit $1 million. Now, if we have an even bigger bull run and we 10x that number and go to $1,000, you will need 1,000 Chainlink to hit $1 million. And so with Chainlink being about $3.74, you can pick up about 250 of them for about $1,000 right now. And so just to keep that in mind, it would take pretty close to about 10 grand. To hit 1,000 Chainlink, I think 1,000 would probably cost you about, I would guess, about $4,500. $4,500 to $5,000 to get 1,000 of them. So you guys could calculate the numbers how you will, do your own math, but that's just the numbers in which it's going to take in order for you guys to hit $1 million in this. I wanted to be logical. I wanted to be reasonable. I wanted to give you guys some exact numbers to go off of because I see a lot of people talking about this. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, I have 100 Chainlink. How many is it going to take me to hit $1 million? Can I hit $1 million? And, here's the numbers. Now you guys know the equations. Go ahead and calculate it for yourself. So for Chainlink to go to $100, it's going to take 10,000 Chainlink to have $1 million. And for Chainlink to go to $1,000, it's going to take 1,000 Chainlink to hit $1 million. So just something to keep a note of, something to keep in mind of. Don't keep yourself unreasonable expectations here, because for Chainlink to go to $1,000, the market cap of Chainlink would have to be just under $1 trillion. And so you'd have about $1 trillion in market cap for Chainlink to hit $1,000, which is possible over the next cycle. We don't know how crazy it can get. We now have institutions that are going to be dumping money. We have all of these. We have all of this Corona stuff happening in the behind the scenes, and so there could be a big catalyst underway where we could see valuations up that high. We don't know how this is going to go, but I wanted to actually tell you guys how you can calculate the numbers, how you can do this on your own, and I also wanted to talk to you guys about the Amazon cycle. Really how identical these two are, and this is really what I'm expecting from Chainlink, just basically what the Amazon cycle did, to some degree and to some variance, obviously. I mean, this one did a 200x from virtually the same price points that Chainlink's at, and so that'd be really nice if we could get a similar rise here in Chainlink as well. But anyways, guys, this is the video I had for you. If you found value in this, always remember to show some support, show some love by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel. Make sure that you guys, in order to get access to the course and signals, you join the Discord, shoot me a message. The video course is 20 educational videos that teach you guys all of my strategies for profiting, all of my mentorship, all of the courses I paid money for, compiled into 20 educational videos. Now, the signals are a way for you guys to copy my portfolio, copy any short-term trades that I'm taking, as well as margin. Anything that I'm doing inside of the market, you guys can copy. With all that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next video. As always, peace out.